Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Today I'm going to go over how to draw Squirtle from Pokemon. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be using this leftover colored pencil, and this is just for the structure, so it doesn't really matter what this is. I'm only using it because it's leftover. And I'm also going to be using this Copic marker, Copic sketch marker. It's an NB. It's a neutral grayscale. These things are kind of expensive, but I like them a lot. They're worth it, and they're kind of a pain to refill. So let's go over really quick the structure of Squirtle. I'm going to start with for the head, and I'm drawing this really dark. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to draw it really dark, and then I'm going to put this sheet of paper underneath one sheet of paper so that you can see through it, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute here. So it's going to be a circle structure. It's going to be a little bit of a longer circle for the torso area, that's the shell. Going to be a little bit more, slightly oval, a little bit bigger. Arms hanging down the side. They're also kind of tube-like, the arms. Kind of like little sausages. Feet. Everything's very round, very tube-like, very round in design, most of the Pokemon. Not all of them, obviously. A lot of them are. You're gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit extra for the shell, so extra corner to connect. The shell's gonna kind of conform to the body there, the outer portion of the shell. And I'm drawing this just for placement. Keep in mind, drawing it for placement. Underneath, and the tail also very ball-like. Let's see if that's on screen. Tail is also very ball-like. Essentially, it looks like a squirrel's tail. Squirrel. Anywho, I'm going to go into the face. I'm going to think of what direction he's facing. Huge eyes. Mouth. Mouth is pretty low on the face, but not super low. Basically, Squirtle's a squirrel and a turtle. You know, Squirtle, turtle. So this is kind of the underlaying structure I would have for Squirtle. You know what I mean? This is what I would look at. And I'm drawing very messy, very dark. The reason I'm drawing very dark is because I'm going to take this piece of paper. I'll show you right now. So I'm going to take this. And by the way, I'm using basically printer paper. It's bigger though. It's 11 by 17 paper, and so it's basically tabloid. Really easy to, really cheap paper to buy, so you don't need special paper to draw on, you know. But if you do have a preference, you have a preference. So see, now I can see through it, right? I have my structure, and I don't have to think about spacing as much at all. I'm gonna take, there's two sides to this marker. There's this thick side right here, and I'm gonna try it out. There's that thick side, see it's flat, square, and then the other side of it, it's double-sided, you know, is kind of like a brush. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to use the brush side. So I'm going to go right here, go into the head first. I'm going to do I'm going to go over the outside of the head. It's a good idea to loosen up. Ooh, I'm not loose. Trying to get that to connect as well as I can. I'm not really loose right now. A little tight in my wrist. Normally I just do a bunch of the way to loosen up is to do a bunch of, like, prelim drawings of my own, practice a little bit on my own, like, beforehand, because sometimes you wake up and you're just not in the mood for it, or your hand's not really in the mood for it, so you have to kind of wake it up. A little bit shaky. Huge iris. Huge iris and pupil area. One thing I've noticed that helps me draw is I have to think harder. It's almost like I have to put my dexterity on overdrive and think harder, if that makes sense. I have to think more. I just concentrate, basically. I'm just saying. It sounds so common sense, right? But for some reason, I just kind of went with the flow and just drew whatever I wanted. I haven't really concentrated very hard in a long time. I only recently started doing that. You start drawing stuff a lot better. It's funny how duh that sounds, and I'm sorry I'm saying it, but it's just true for me, Go into the mouth. Don't be hairy with your strokes. Try to pull it in as little strokes as you can. I'm gonna go with the body now. Pulled a little bit too back on it, I feel. I'll just have to work with it. I'm gonna go into the arm. I feel the arm is very forward. Those 3 fingers there. Be careful of the line weight variation. See, it's a little. I guess I'm a little shaky right now, but I gotta stop making excuses. I'm gonna try to pull a line from here all the way down to there in one stroke. Connecting the shell to the back. I'm gonna put his leg in there too, just in case I forget. That line's gonna overlap the leg just a little bit, because I pulled that line too far. Let me know if you guys like the marker better than the pencil, because then I'll start doing more demos in marker than pencil. Because I feel the pencil's probably more what you guys are using, but I feel like the marker shows up better on a demo. So, like I said before, the shell is going to conform to the side of the body. I know one of the... let me talk really quick about your development. When you're developing as an artist, it's gonna... By the way, save all your old drawings, by the way. Absolutely save all your old drawings. I didn't. That's a big mistake I had. Save them. Reason for that is there's a point when you start learning to draw that you will think you're getting worse, but in reality you're not. That's because you're seeing more things than you can do. You know what I mean? Your eye will get better at identifying mistakes, and you'll just be identifying more of your own mistakes, if that makes sense. And you'll think you're getting worse, but in reality you're not getting worse. And that's why you got to keep those old drawings, so that you know you're not getting worse. But if you are getting worse, then you got to do something. You got to change something up. It's very rare though that you get worse. Usually happens around like the mid-intermediate, high-intermediate level. Um, yeah, keep those old drawings. Like I said, it's a really weird thing to balance out how much you can see and how much you can do. You're always going to be able to see more than you can do, is my feeling. But made that line a little bit too thick on his shell. If I made it thick anywhere, though, I'm glad I made it on the shell. Alright, now I'm going to go after his tail. That one's going to be a pain. Let's see. I got to do the swirl, and I got to do it in one shot. And I can't do it super thick, like, you know, overly thick. Alright. Here goes nothing. Oh, man, I'm getting nervous. Okay, hold on. 1 second. Ready? I messed up right here. This should be a little poofier. Alrighty. We take out that paper underneath. You know, not bad. It's okay. Anywho, that's how I draw Squirtle. That's supposed to be a quick one. You know, sorry it took so long. So remember the tools I used? Pencil underneath to kind of get like the layer of the structure. And then I go over that structure with marker. Alright guys, thanks a lot. I'll talk to you later and I'll see you soon.